The following video is not made for kids. Viewer discretion is advised. Hello to my subscribers, this is the TFangy coming to you with what will hopefully be a quick and successful review. And today we're going to be taking a look at the Transformers Legacy United Generation Selects Autobots and United 5-pack. And this video, as the title has revealed, is going to primarily focus on Hound, who is the selling figure of this boxed set. The other four figures that are also included in this set, which are Jazz, Sunstreaker, Trailbreaker, and Wheeljack, are unfortunately added bonuses because this box set marks the first release of Earth Mode Hound, retooled from the Siege Cybertron Alt Mode version of Hound that was released in the Siege line back in 2019. So, long story short, 2 years before the figure was released back in 2022, a photo leaked online showing Siege Hound with retooled parts transforming into an Earth Jeep alt mode. And last year in 2023, a year after that photo had leaked on the internet, Hasbro unleashed in the Transformers Legacy Evolution line deluxe class Junkion Detritus. And apparently it was Hasbro's intent all along that Detritus would be yet another tease at Earth Mode Hound before the actual Earth Mode Hound figure was released, and the photo being leaked out in 2022 was an unfortunate leak that Hasbro did not want to get out and be let know own to the Transformers fandom. So it's been 2 years in the waiting for Earth Mode Hound, and one of the things that a lot of Transformers fans and collectors are upset about is that when the photo was leaked back in 2022, it was speculated that Earth Mode Hound was going to be a single figure release. And so far the word from Hasbro is that here, the Autobots Stand United 5-pack is the only way to get Earth Mode Hound. So from the perspective of buying Hound here, you basically end up having to pay $100 and get an extra 4 deluxe class Transformers figures that you might or might not want to have in your collections, especially if you have the original versions of these. One thing the Autobots United 5-pack prides itself on is that all these figures are made out of a solid, opaque plastic, no clear plastic parts used for the windows or anything like that. And after Hound, who's the selling figure here, for me personally, my second favorite figure in this set is Jazz, because my Studio Series 86 Jazz figure that this version of Jazz is repainted from, it has stress marks on the clear plastic arts. And for me personally, my three least favorite figures from this box set are Sunstreaker, Trailbreaker, and Wheeljack. So yeah, once again, from the perspective of buying Earth Mode Hound, brand new in an unopened box, it's a hassle having to get this figure. So while they're still inside the box, here's what they look like. They're lined up just like the box art. Alright, so you've got Jazz, repainted from the Studio Series 86 figure. Then you've got Sunstreaker, Trailbreaker, and Wheeljack, repainted from their Earthrise figures. And you've got the sought-after figure from this box set, the one everyone wants to get, Earth Mode Hound, who, while being a retool of the Siege Hound figure, technically Earth Mode Hound is a straight-up repaint of Legacy United, I just said United, Legacy Evolution Detritus. So, yes, this is what the review is going to primarily focus on. So, another difference between these figures and the original releases is that these are the paint jobs that Sunbro Productions gave them in the G1 cartoon. So, instead of being dark army green, like Siege Hound here is, which was the same with the original Generation 1 Hound action figure, Hound is now a very bright, I guess you could say it's a grass green or an olive green color, which matches his appearance in the cartoon show. So that's basically it for that. That's what makes these figures unique. Eek is being made out of solid plastic, which will probably give them a longer lifespan and more durability than the original figures that were made out of clear plastic. But of course, Hound is the most unique one, since this is the first ever release of Hound with an Earth Jeep mode. So without further delay, let's get these figures out of the box and take a close look at them in robot mode. Alright, you guys, so I apologize, but I just realized that I have guests coming over today, and so I need to help my family around the home. So I'm going to cut the review short, and the review is going to primarily focus on Hound. Whether or not I review the other 4 figures in this set, I'll let you guys decide down in the comment section if you'd like to see me review the other figures. For now, I'm going to leave them inside the box since I don't really have much interest in them. I might take out Jazz just because I want to replace my Studio Series 86 figure with him, since that's the one figure that I'm afraid of having breakage. But for now, I'm definitely going to leave Sunstreaker, Trailbreaker, and Wheeljack in the box for sure. But setting the rest of the figures off to the side, the review is now going to be entirely on Hound, so let's get him armored up with his shoulder cannon and his blaster. Alright, and so here is Transformers Legacy United Earth Mode Hound out of the box. And again, as I said, the only way to get this figure here is in the Autobots Jazz United 5-pack. Some Transformers fans and collectors are hoping that we'll get a version of Earth Mode Hound released individually that will have the much darker army green that both Generation 1 Hound and Siege Cybertron Alt Mode Hound were given. But whether or not Hasbro decides to actually do that is uncertain at this point. But I personally wouldn't mind getting another version of Hound, despite getting this the Autobots United 5-pack. But if we do get an individual release of Earth Mode Hound after most collectors bought the Autobots United 5-pack to get Earth Mode Hound, that unfortunately is going to be viewed as a slap in the face by fans from Hasbro. So who knows if this will be the only release of Earth Mode Hound, but it is a pretty impressive looking figure for what it is. The only minor nitpick I have is that I wish they would have given the Autobot logo on Hound's chest a white outline like they did with the Autobot logo on the top of the chest of Siege Hound, since it makes it pop out more. But I do realize the Autobot logo not having a white or even a silver outline on it, it is accurate to the animation model from the G1 cartoon by Sunbow Productions. But again, that's just a minor nitpick. If I were to get a hold of some Autobot stickers, I may put a Autobot logo that has an outline over that one, and just to make it pop out more. But I do realize one of the reasons why Sunbow Productions did it is because it helps with the Transformers characters successfully being more of a robot in disguise if the faction logo isn't visibly outlined at a glance. But yeah, there is a Hound in his robot mode. I'm not going to go into articulation since I covered that with my review of Siege Hound in 2019, and I also touched on it again when I reviewed Detritus. So, for a quick side-by-side comparison in robot mode, here is Legacy United Earth Mode Hound next to Legacy Evolution Detritus and Siege Cybertron on Alt Mode Hound. It's a bit of a mouthful to say, but yeah, there they are beside each other. And yes, I did purposely put Detritus's shoulder cannon on his left side shoulder just to distinguish him further from Hound. And in robot mode, Detritus is an Autobot. I mentioned that in his review. But in Jeep mode, he's a Decepticon. Hound's faction doesn't change. I'm babbling on at this point because I've forgotten what else there is to say, but if you've already gotten Detritus, then you're basically getting the same figure, just done again. I believe this shade of green is a grass green. In a Siege Hound, just like the G1 Hound action figure, he's this dark metallic army green. But of course, for the Siege line, Hasbro and Takara Tomy gave him the silver scuffed up painting to look like he's been in a war zone. Compared to the cartoon paint job that Sunbow Productions gave, where the Transformers were clean cut and they look like they just rolled off the production line for their alt modes. They were just created and they're brand new. But to be fair, air to give Sunbow Productions a positive feedback. I forgot the vocabulary I was going to use. The Transformers were reawakened by Teletran 1 after being offline for 4 million years, so Teletran 1 fully restoring them and removing all the battle damage markings that they had on them. To me, it makes sense. And of course, flipping Hound around from robot mode. I could technically wait until I transform him into alt mode to show this off, but again, here's what the Autobots United 5 stand pack prides itself on, is that the parts on the previously released figures that were done in clear plastic for the windows, they're now done in solid plastic, just done up with paint, ANAPs, and one nice thing about Hound is that both sides of his windshield are painted in this blue plastic. But one thing to note about Transformers Legacy United Earth Mode Hound is that the actual color of the windshield part is this dull gray plastic used here on the two 5mm pegs that clip it into the top of his shoulders, which the shoulder can is attached to when you transform him into alt mode. So yeah, that gray plastic is the actual color of this. So the green frame for the windshield is actually paint as well, just like the windshield itself. So unfortunately, there is the chance that that paint could chip off over time. I honestly don't know why they didn't just cast the windshield in green plastic, since most of the rest of Hound is done in green plastic as well. Although now that I'm looking at it, I'm thinking some parts of him might actually be gray plastic. It's basically the same gray plastic that's used here on his shoulders. So over time, if you were to remove all the paint on here, Hound's windshield would be the same color gray as his shoulder joint. Right. But again, I'm really thrilled with how the figure turned out. I really like the white hubcaps they gave him. That's also accurate to the cartoon. One thing I am slightly disappointed to see is that the winch cable on the front of his chest, which becomes the front of his Jeep mode, you look right there on the front corners of it, there's already paint that's chipped off fresh out of the box. But I can't blame Hasbro and Takara because I've just been waiting since the Earthrise line was launched back in 2020 for Hound to get a release, and that's another reason why I keep saying Hound is the I just lost the word. The selling figure of this box set, and the reason why everyone's getting it is because Hound was the last of the 11 regular-sized Autobots from the original 1984 lineup to be given an Earth alt mode, and the fact that after the Siege and Earthrise lines ended, Hound had no Earth alt mode in sight. Granted, I do know that we had to wait until the Kingdom line to get Earth mode versions of Sideswipe and Mirage, and the fact that Hasbro wanted to troll Transformers collectors by releasing Detritus before Hound, and then trolled us further again by shoehorning Hound into a 5-pack instead of getting him an individual release. To me, that's Hasbro being fully aware that Transformers fans were going to do whatever it took to get a hold of this action figure, so I do give Hasbro a thumbs down for that, for trolling Transformers fans and collectors that way. But yes, that's pretty much it for Hound in robot mode. He doesn't come with the same blaster that Siege Hound came with. It's the same blaster that instead came with Detritus, but I personally don't mind. But one thing I do like, though, is that he now has the actual rocket launcher on his shoulder cannon, which Siege Hound was infamously lacking in the minds of most Transformers fans and collectors. And I do know that the actual rocket pod itself, the first Transformers action figure that it came with wasn't Detritus. It was actually, trying to reach it behind my back. It actually came with the, originally with the Generation 2 Nacho Cheese Jazz figure. I'm not going to review that figure. I just got the other Toxitron Collection G2 figures just to complete them. So now that I've gone on longer than I wanted to, let's hurry up and get Hound transformed into his alt mode, and we will wrap up the review. Alright, and so here is Legacy United Earth Mode Hound in his Jeep mode. And again, it's the selling point for it is visually, for its appearance, is it matches Hound's cartoon animation model from the G1 series produced by Sunbow Productions, and as far as achieving that, Hasbro and Takatomi, I think, did a fairly decent job. And the wheels do spin quite well. And again, another thing that it prides itself on is that the parts on the original figures that were made out of clear plastic, same thing with the other 4 deluxe figures you get in this box set, are that the clear windows have been replaced with opaque solid plastic ones. So here is Earth Mode Hound next to Legacy United Evolution Detritus. And again, clear windshield, solid windshield, clear plastic, opaque plastic, and as far as the durability of these, Hound's windshield will probably last a lot longer time than Detritus, even with care, air, and lack of recklessness. But yeah, there he is next to Detritus. Again, in Jeep mode, Detritus becomes a Decepticon. He's only an Autobot when he's in robot mode. To my knowledge, I don't know if Army Jeeps were painted tan and brown for desert camouflage. I know there were plenty of green Army Jeeps that were. I think by the time the United States started to deploy military vehicles in countries that had desert, sandy desert as part of the main geography, the military had replaced Jeeps with Hummers by that point. So I honestly don't know if desert camouflage Army Jeeps really existed, but even if they didn't, it's still nice here. I do love the detailing used on this. It's on both Hound and Detritus. One minor nitpick I wish they would have done is I wish they would have used black tires here on Hound than they did for Detritus. I might swap the tires out between the two of them. But I would, but I'm afraid of breaking the clips since I tried to do that with a figure one time and I broke the wheels. But yeah, I'm really thrilled with how he turned out. And for another size comparison in Jeep mode, here is Legacy United Earth Mode Hound next to the figure that the original version of the mold that he's retooled from, which is the Transformers War for Cybertron Trilogy Siege Hound figure from 2019. One minor nitpick, and I said this with Detritus, I wish they would have found a way to cover that hole. The reason why it's there is due to how the side panel of the Jeep folds up and becomes the robot mode eggs, but it's really nice to see Earth Mode Hound next to his Cybertron Alt Mode Hound counterpart. To my knowledge, you can't actually swap the tires between these two due to the tires on the Siege figure being slightly wider, but yeah, I'm really thrilled with how they came out. With the release of Earth Mode Hound, I believe the mold that was originally used on Siege Hound, I believe it's been used 6 times now. It was used on, in addition to these 3 figures, it was also used on Generation Select's Cybertron on Hotshot. It was also used on Netflix Hound, which had a paint job that's much more matched his appearance on the Netflix Siege cartoon show, and then it was also used for Legacy Evolution IDW Orion packs. But yeah, it's a really impressive looking Jeep here. Again, if you already have Detritus and you have a Siege Hound, then the Legacy United Earth Mode Hound is basically if you took these 2 figures, meshed them together, and this is the final result. And again, for the selling point of this figure, this is the first time we've gotten an Earth Mode Hound figure since the Universe Classics figure was released back in 2009. And as far as availability here, after that photo from 2022 was leaked, and a lot of Transformers fans speculated that Hound was going to be an individual release. It's been a disappointment to know that Hound is only available in this 5-pack with these other 4 figures here. Again, here's a quick glance of the other figures here. I'll let you guys decide in the comment section if you'd like to see me review Jazz, Sunstreaker, Trailbreaker, and Wheeljack. Right now, I have no interest in reviewing them. I am going to keep the figures because I do enjoy having more figures of those characters in my Transformers collection, but for now, this review has been on Transformers Legacy United Autobots Jazz and 5-pack Earth Mode Hound. What a mouthful that was to say. For me personally, for the proverbial question of the review, do I recommend getting Legacy United Earth Mode Hound and adding him to your Transformers collection? I do recommend getting him, but unfortunately, I can't say that without a lot of vigor, due to the fact that he's only available in a $100 5-pack with 4 other deluxe figures that you might or might not want to have. Hopefully, he will get released a second time individually, but considering the fact that he was originally going to be released he was rumored to be individually released in the Buzzworthy Bumblebee line, and it's been announced recently that the Buzzworthy Bumblebee line is ending. Target told Hasbro they have no interest in continuing that exclusive line in their stores anymore, but there are still going to be Transformers action figures here in the United States sold exclusively at Target store, or is just with either packaging that matches the figures being sold at mass retail, or it's going to match a style to be a new subline of exclusives that is tied more directly with Target stores themselves. Also, the exclusives Transformers figures that will be offered at Target, they won't have individual flashy boxes the way the exclusive figures being released at Walmart are going to have. But I'm starting to get slightly off topic. But me personally, I recommend getting Hound and adding him to your Transformers collection. But I personally would recommend browsing around eBay and see if anyone is selling off Earth Mode Hound individually. I haven't looked at the prices that he's going for or on eBay individually, but I'd imagine that it's almost as expensive as the box set itself. But I have seen a handful of Transformers collectors saying that they got the Autobots United 5-pack for some of the other figures, especially ones that they missed. That's one of the reasons why the other figures in this box set are Sunstreaker, Trailbreaker, Wheeljack, and Jazz, is because supposedly the figures were quote-unquote hard to find and difficult to obtain for Transformers fans and collectors. I don't know if that's true about Jazz and Wheeljack since I saw them regularly, but I do know that is true for Sunstreaker and Trailbreaker. The Earthrise figures were hard to find. I don't remember off the top of my head if I ever saw them at retail. I got the Earthrise versions of Trailbreaker and Sunstreaker off of Amazon. But yeah, the review's gone on longer than I wanted it to, so here's one last look at Transformers Legacy United Earth Mode Hound. Hopefully he'll get an individual release for people who can't afford or don't want the entire Autobots United 5-pack. So until next time, you guys, this has been the TFan Geek. Please remember to stay safe, stay healthy. Thank you so much for watching my view on Earth Mode Hound from Legacy United. And until next time, you guys, transform and roll out. Goodbye, everyone.